get this show going. We have a really cool thing going on tonight. Super excited. I think last I saw 125 RSVPs. That's super cool. Thank you all for coming out here. Recognize some of the faces and some of them I don't know. Hi, Adam.
Hello.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
The gallery was locked 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
I took care of you, bro.
Thanks, man.
So, yeah, super excited. Go to the next slide. Why are we doing this? So, a bunch of us in the community have been, starting to shift towards these, volunteer events. And one of the things that became apparent is there seems to be this gap. We really want to start to connect people to all these really cool organizations in our community that are investing and creating all these really cool opportunities. So, as you probably saw on the list, we have 25 different organizations signed up, all creating just really cool things that many of us just can't even keep up with what they all are. So tonight is really exciting to have sort of a lightning talk style round where we can hear from those different organizations. What is it that they're doing and how can we take advantage of that? So it's broken down into two groups. The first group is 40 minutes. It's 3 minutes of presentation and a minute of questions. Second group is 20 minutes, minute presentation, minute questions. Sort of admin note for the presenters, I'll be calling up the next presenter and then I'll be calling up the following presenter, which can get on deck, like Jill over here. So I know you're here and I know not to skip you. So please, when I call you on deck, come and join me. Start questions early if you can. So we've got a cool little timer up here, almost like TED Talk style, that will show you how much time you have left. So hopefully you can self-manage your time. If you can get the questions early, that's great. This is a great opportunity to be able to engage with this live audience of our community. When you get down to the last 15 seconds, it's going to start flashing at you so that you know that you need to finish very soon. So please don't take any more questions at that time and trying to wrap up the question that you're on. And worst case scenario, I have to cut you off, and I will, because we have a lot of really cool organizations to get through. And it's sort of my responsibility as MC for everybody here to get through this entire list in a reasonable amount of time. Next. Some more admin notes. So you can probably smell the pizza. There's pizza out there if you didn't figure that out. Please respect the space. If you make a mess, then clean it up. If you see somebody else make a mess and not clean it up, then tell them to clean it up, or get with one of us so we know that we need to clean it up. Otherwise, I'm liable, and that sucks. Bathrooms. So I'm sad to say that there is a single stall bathroom on this floor. If you're lucky enough to get it, it's down that way towards the United Way event. If that one is full, you go down to the second floor, there's another set of bathrooms which has many more stalls. So, just so you know. And this is an opportunity to connect. Connect through the Q&A here, but also after this event, please head over to the DevOps event, which is down in the gallery on the second floor. Hang out here as long as you would like, and also, some of us will head down to the Skinny Pancake to grab a drink, so you can head down there as well after the event. Connect with the speakers, connect with various members of the audience, this awesome community. So this couldn't have happened without a whole slew of people and organizations and support. So the space that we're in tonight, this is the first time I've had to upgrade from a 60 capacity room to a 125 capacity room. That's pretty cool, and the only reason we're able to do that is because of Burlington Code. I'm excited to announce that VCET has become a premier sponsor of Burlington Code, making it so things like this and a lot of the meetup groups that you end up going to, they're able to have their meetups with a lot more ease in pulling off the meetup. You'll learn more about that later. In addition, some other sponsors, Main Street Landing gives us a great discount, Wheeler.com, Burlington Telecom, BTV Ignite, Back Labs, Vermont Code Camp. Tonight couldn't have happened without that support. In addition, the pizza and drinks is thanks to the UVM Medical Center, specifically Pip Steele, for doing all the logistics and making that happen. So shout out to them.
Let's go. Take it home. You can't stay here. Seriously. We don't want to clean up. Great house.
267 emails. That was my rather quick informal count to pull off this event. A lot of coordination went into getting all of you here, 25 speakers here, getting us relatively on the same page, to where we've all ended up in the same room. Next slide. This is all thanks to some people. So I'm John Hoggett, Nick Diego up here, Al Ramirez, where are you? Yeah! Pip Steele, you just heard. And Dan Russell, where are you at? Yeah, right here. So in particular, I want to call out that Al and Dan are taking care of the recording. So if all goes well, they'll have more work to do over the next couple of days to do a little bit of post-production, get this published for longevity, which will be great. Also, a big personal shout out to Nick. Nick has been my rock. If it wasn't for Nick, then I would get really discouraged and lonely in trying to do things like this. So thank you, Nick. Now he's all embarrassed. And most importantly, 25 presenting groups. So what may not be obvious is that the people that are about to present, they're not just giving up a night of their month here to come share with us. These are groups, volunteers or nonprofits that are giving up time every single week to try and create really cool opportunities for the rest of us. Tonight is just a small dose, a small glimpse into that. So big shout out to them. So what are they about to tell us? So they should be telling you what opportunities are you creating for our community? Who are you creating those opportunities for? The idea there is it me? Are you targeting a particular talent level, or are there fees or that type of thing? How can they take advantage of those opportunities? Is there a sign-up process or just show up? Come on in, guys. And if they need help, how can volunteers help them? So with that, I will stop my babbling. We will jump into the show. First up, we have BTV Ignite, and remind me who's on deck. On deck, we have Fresh Tracks Capital.
So, let's start. Hi, I'm Jill Jemison. I'm the tech lead for BTV Ignite. I'm the IT director for UVM College of Medicine. Don't take up my time with clapping. Okay, you guys have probably seen this. Mike Shirling has talked about it. BTV Ignite exists to support the tech ecosystem here and to advocate for the gig. I'm going to talk about the middle box, 3 big tech initiatives I think this audience will appreciate next. The first is the Digital Town Square. This is really about connecting islands and gigabit, using local connectivity, keeping things high-speed, reliable, being able to take advantage of the promise of the technology. So if you see Burlington Telecom over there, we're connecting more things. Think about connecting Civic Cloud next, please. BTV Ignite is funded by US Ignite, which is an NSF-funded entity. It's about gig app development. It's about the future of this sort of connectivity. There are a lot of funding opportunities that focus on those areas. So you can think about telemedicine, you can think about 4K streaming video, you can think about remote education, you can think about all those things. Next, please. There are also opportunities for funding, huge opportunities for funding, especially if you're in those areas, but if you have a great idea to use the gig, big app development, data, live, whatever, there's funding, there are interesting things. Think about supporting society, but it doesn't have to be in those areas. So we can do 2 for BTV Ignite. If you've got great ideas, come to me. Next one. This is the next phase. This is the future of the Genie Rack. This is part of the Digital Town Square. It's edge computing. There are about 60 of them in the country. One is here in our community. It's hosted up at UVM. This is about network slicing. It's about security. It's about virtualization. You can put apps on it. There's going to be a lot of information about this coming out. It's just coming online. It's a really fantastic thing for our community. If you want to talk about NG development, that's it. Next slide. So in summary, big, fast, local connectivity, Gig apps, changing the way we think about development, changing the way we think about apps, changing the way we interact with people and technology, and the Genie round. It's accessible to all developers. It's all comers. There are a lot of fellows here tonight, Kim, Al, John. There are a lot of us here to help. If you want to get in touch with me, there's my email, Abby at Burlington Telecom Helps. There's going to be a new executive director announced shortly. And we really want people who want to take advantage of the gig, take advantage of the speed, and take advantage of what we can do for the community. There we go. Okay, so we've got a minute and 30 seconds for questions. Silent? Like I got big servers, we got gig, nobody. Was I too fast? Okay, we got one there.
What is the gig? Is that a...
Gigabit connectivity, fiber connectivity. We're a smart gigabit community here. There are a number of them. The idea is to take gig out of corporate and academic America and put it in the hands of people. How do you use it to improve the city? Monitoring infrastructure, education, people at their home, wearables that can be sensitive to street lights so elderly people or disabled people can have a longer time to pass, to walk through an intersection. So it's using that connectivity the way corporate America is already using it, but using it for our community.
Is Genie a local kind of AWS or
Genie is
Azure?
No, Genie is actually a stack. It's a technical stack. It's really cutting edge. It has to do with there's compute space, but it's really about network slicing, network security. It's part of a larger Genie network in the country, so you can put applications, you can deploy applications in multiple nodes. They're doing a lot of control systems. They're using it for development of internet security. They're doing some medical applications on it. It sits mostly in academia right now. They're trying to push it into community development. Okay, we're at 5 seconds. Sorry, thanks a lot.
All right. So we got Fresh Tracks Capital, and next up, Girl Develop It.
Hi everybody, my name is Lee Bouillet. I'm a managing director at Fresh Tracks Capital. We are a venture capital firm based in Shelburne and focused on investing in Vermont businesses. We were founded in 2000, have raised 4 funds since then, totaling around $47 million, invested in about 40 companies over that time frame. The current fund that we're running was raised just last year. We've made 2 investments in that new fund, have a couple more that we hope to close in the next month or 2. And the current fund is managed by Carmen Cross, who was a co-founder back in 2000, myself, who joined in 2005, and then our most recent partner, PJ Whalen, who joined in 2016. As you can see in the middle here, we've invested in 40 companies, like I mentioned, in a number of different industries. We can talk a little bit more about the software companies that we've invested in over that time. And we've been, I'd say, very involved in the local entrepreneurship and tech ecosystem over that 17 years, founding events like Peak Pitch and Road Pitch, which we hold annually, being involved with HackVT and a number of other events here in the ecosystem. So in terms of some of the software companies that we've funded, this one is Woo. It's an over-the-top mobile messaging app. This is Ello. It's a social media network. Horse Network is a digital media company based up at VCET. We've also invested in Eating Well in the digital media space. Patient Engagement Systems is in the healthcare IT space, spin out of UVM, as well as ThinkMD, also spin out of UVM. Faraday is in the marketing technology space. Social Sentinel is a social media threat assessment and alert system. Bridge is a travel technology company, and Iris VR is a virtual reality technology company, founded at Middlebury and then since moved down to New York City. So that's kind of who we are and what we do. Thanks.
Questions?
Yep.
What are you most proud of?
You know, that we've really applied capital and expertise here in the state, and that we've really tried to grow the ecosystem. You can imagine back in 2000 when Karn and Charlie started Fresh Tracks, there wasn't a lot of deal flow, there weren't a lot of great things happening, and this event is testament to how much that ecosystem has grown, and I think we've really worked over 17 years to play our part and help grow that over time. Yes?
If you could ask for anything right now, what are your biggest requests in terms of staffing or just in general for the community you'd like to see?
I like the idea of density in Burlington and Burlington County. I think the the infill and the growing up of the city is going to do great things for our tech innovation ecosystem. I sometimes wish we were the size of Portland, Maine instead of where we've been over the past 10 or 20 years. I grew up in Burlington. It's changed a lot over the past 4 years, but I think we still got a lot more growing to do here in this economic and population setting.
So second question, in terms of deal flow follow-up, or just in terms of personnel in general, do you see people being drawn here because they can work remotely, or do you see them being drawn here because of cool firms like the hospital come work?
Both.
Sorry.
I mean, that's a great thing. I think it's tough to recruit companies into Vermont, but I think you can always recruit entrepreneurs, and I think we've done a good job of that given our lifestyle. There are some great anchor tenants, like you're talking about, like UVM Medical Center and Dealer.com, which have done a great job of net importing of talent. But I think our best economic strategy really is to support the entrepreneurs, to attract them to Vermont and to Burlington, and give them a good place to grow their companies.
Cool, thank you.
Question for you. If I'm an entrepreneur wannabe, how prepared do I need to be to come talk to you guys, get started?
Yeah, from our perspective, we're happy to talk to anybody at any phase of the life cycle. We're usually investing in seed and Series A deals, but we're happy just to sit down with an entrepreneur for a few minutes to talk about their idea if they're really just getting started. So find us at freshtrackscap.com. Thanks.
Cool, thank you. Now we have Girl Develop It, and up next we have Generator.
Shout at me when this
Okay, go ahead. So I'm Rachel Arnold. I'm one of our chapter co-leaders here in Burlington, Girl Development. But we're actually a national nonprofit. Our goal is to change the ratio, get more women involved in computer science right now, or coding, programming, tech, wherever. So despite the name Girl, we really are for women who want to learn, and any adults who identify as male are welcome to take our classes and volunteer and be involved as well. So we hope to also provide accessible classes, so to minorities, to anyone who doesn't have the access to some of the more expensive opportunities out there. We were founded in New York City in 2010. It started with a single class and grew into, now we have 56 chapters around the country, and I believe Toronto, Canada. We have lots of attendees. It's gone up even since then, and we always have classes here in Burlington. If you go to the next slide. We were founded in 2013 by Maureen McElhaney, my co-leader. We have over 1,000 meetup members. Many of you, I believe, are members. We have provided a lot of different classes, mostly targeting web development, partially because that's just who has been volunteering and teaching. We're always on the lookout for anyone who can help us provide a wider variety of things, and also anyone who wants to come learn. So to answer the who, what, and why, or the who and what, we have two, I guess, main groups. Either women that want to learn, or people who can help us help them learn. And we're a completely volunteer-run organization. We mainly need, or we're always looking for space. Be a nice segue to Generator, who's hosting us later this month. We also can use cash to fund scholarships to provide that accessible learning opportunity to women who may not be able to afford it, or men. So that's that.
What's it take to volunteer? So I need software developers to test, or just web engineers. What does it take to be volunteers to
To volunteer, we have a few options. We need instructors who do get paid part of the class proceeds, so they're not strictly volunteers, but you don't get paid what you're worth. We also need TAs who are purely volunteer for any of our classes, and we do mostly intro classes, so people who aren't, professionals or who don't have a ton of skill and aren't like instructor level, there's still an opportunity there for you to use what you know and help other people learn. We also need help with event organization, so we have a small team of organizers for people who help us organize events who may or may not be coders or taking our classes.
Cool. Can you talk about the space a little bit more in terms of what your ask is there? Do you need like a fully tricked out, 3D setup, or do you just need an office that's open or
Great question. No, in terms of classroom space, we just need room for like 15 people and space for their laptops, hopefully a place to plug in, Wi-Fi. We really want accessible places, so that's limited us a bit with some of the local companies here. Everybody's on second floors with smaller offices. But so really the space for 15, hopefully on a bus line, not always. And then also we have social events. So tomorrow night we have a Code and Coffee at New Moon where we encourage people to just come with questions, want to learn about the organization, or want to learn, get help with one of their problems, that kind of thing.
All right, thank you.
All right, good evening, Burlington. My name is Lars Torres, and I'm thrilled to serve as the director of Burlington's Generator Makerspace. Really quick, can I see a show of hands? How many people have heard of Generator? Keep your hands in the air. Okay, good. How many people have been to Generator? Wow, great. Okay, so I want to start with a story then, which is really about this mural. This mural was designed by Champlain College students. They came into Generator in the summer of 2016. They were asking a lot of questions like, who are you? What do you want to do? Because we had to move. We had to move out of Memorial Auditorium, 250 Main Street. We were looking for a home. We ended up finding a home at Champlain College's Facilities and Operations Warehouse down on Pine Street. So we're thrilled to now be part of the South End Arts and Business District. But this mural, to me, is emblematic of the power of community, which is ultimately what we're all here for. This mural represents for us the transition in many ways from where we were at 250 Main Street down into Pine Street. In order to get there, we had to raise $300,000 in cash. That came from 107 donors in and around the greater Burlington area who wanted to see Generator be successful in its new home. It also represents over 500 volunteer hours. I think Karen Cornish is up in there somewhere. You led all those people who built the walls, they painted, they moved our machinery, and they got us set up in Burlington's South End. Today we're a community of makers. How many of you think of yourselves as a maker? You make something, and you're proud of it. Okay, good. So we're a community of 230 makers. We occupy 8,500 square feet of maker space down in the South End. That means we have 5 workshops, a wood shop, a metal shop, electronics area, a jewelry studio, rapid prototyping area, as well as studios for independent artists, creatives, hobbyists, hackers. Come and build the things that they're passionate about. We also teach classes. We teach about 25 classes a month right now, thanks to Karen up there, our education coordinator, but also thanks to partnerships with local organizations like Girl Develop It. We're able to offer additional courses, not that we're charging for, but that we believe contribute to the livelihood potential of individuals here and contribute to the talent pool that companies ultimately need to grow here in Burlington. We are a membership-based organization, so memberships start at $25 a month to be a volunteer. We take 3 hours of your week, we put it to good use, and then we also have $75 a month to be a general member. Come in, build the things you're passionate about, take classes, but the most important thing I want to leave you with is that it's about the community. It's about the people there, the talent you will find to solve the problems that you're passionate about. So come check us out, Burlington Generator, 40 Sears Lane. We're a makerspace. We're a sandbox for creativity, learning, and entrepreneurship.
Questions?
Lars,
Come on, Jim. Yeah.
if you ask for anything in the, it's my standard question, if you ask for anything in Burlington, what will be your opinion class?
Check for $1 million. Look, we like crazy projects. Things that, you know, when you pencil them out on the back of a napkin at the bar at 2 in the morning when you're, you know, ready to go home after a long day. We want to see what those crazy projects are and see if we can't connect you with the talent like Micah to make those projects real. That's a big deal for us, your ideas. Second thing is talent. We need talent to make those ideas happen. Part of that is through teaching. Again, 25 classes a month. We have room for probably another, 20, Karen? Who knows, sky's the limit, but we want to be able to share your skills and the things that you're passionate about at Generator. We're sort of a platform social enterprise, which means we thrive when you thrive.
All right, let's give it up for Generator. All right, now we got Burlington Code on deck, launch VT.
Hey guys, my name is Nick, as John so nicely introduced me. I'm going to talk a little bit about Burlington Code. Burlington Code is an organization that was started last year in January, and it has a very simple mission. Make it easy for software professionals and hobbyists to share and collaborate so we can collectively grow Burlington, Vermont, and as the tech center of Vermont nation. So we identified a problem. Who here has attended a tech meetup? Most people. Okay. So meetups are free events, and one of the biggest problems with them is finding a place to meet. And it puts a lot of pressure on the organizers, and it really inhibits meetups from meeting. So, what we do, we provide a consistent meetup venue, and it's right here at Main Street Landing. And basically, any tech meetup that wants to become a part of Burlington Code, it's free, can sign up, and they can use this meetup space. And we really want to help tech meetups get off the ground, get organized, and have events that members of the community can attend. We also want to promote Burlington Tech. That's kind of why we're all here tonight. Last year we had 40 plus meetups. This year, 2017, we're off to a record start, and we got a ton lined up. All right, so how can you help? So right now, there's just a few of us managing and running Burlington Code. We kind of look at it as we're just starting out. And due to some generous donors this year, we are now funded through 2018. That funding covers, for free volunteers, that covers the meetup space here at Main Street Landing and allows us to do big events like this. Woo! Yeah. So, but we need people to have meetups. We need, if you have a meetup idea, if you have a tech meetup idea, come see us. We want to host your meetup. And also, if you're interested in becoming a volunteer, there's a million things that you could help us out with. Simply community outreach, help us put together flyers, and help handle the books, the finances for Burlington Code. All sorts of volunteer opportunities. And if you feel so inclined, you of course can donate to Burlington Code and help us continue our mission. So if you want to learn more, check out our website, but more importantly, if you have a meetup idea, talk to us after the show, and we'd be happy to talk and help get you to be a part of Burlington Code. Any questions?
Can you give us some examples of like what types of meetups you're
Yeah. So we do the Burlington Data Science Group. We also have the Burlington WordPress Group, Burlington JS, and Burlington Python. But anybody who's interested as a tech-based meetup, we want to hear from you.
You do hackathons?
We have not, but we're open to it. I mean, anything tech-related, we're game.
Yeah, that's the type of thing that that volunteering can help a lot with. You come help us make it happen, and we'll help you make it happen.
Yeah. Anyone else?
What can Burlington Code do to help people hire, finding good software, like connecting software engineers in small companies?
Well, I mean, well,
Just showing them.
we want to create a space through these meetups for tech people in the community, whether they're hobbyists or
You're over. Give it up for Burlington Code.
Hi, I'm Katie Taylor. I am the outgoing director of LaunchVT, and in a month or so, if you seek out more information about LaunchVT, you'll meet John Antonucci, who is the incoming director of LaunchVT. So don't be surprised if you don't hear from me. But LaunchVT started in 2013. We're entering our 5th year. In the last 4 years, we have supported 33 startups. We've provided education and networking opportunities to more than 250 entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs in the Vermont, mostly in Burlington, but around Vermont. And we've provided more than $300,000 in cash and resources to entrepreneurs through our pitch competition. Some of you show of hands, who's ever attended the LaunchVT pitch competition? Great, so a bunch of you know about it. This year it's on May 12th. We accept applications and then choose 7 finalists who will go at it sort of Shark Tank style in May for cash and prizes, $100,000 each year, that we give out thanks to the community of donors that we have here in Vermont. Those winners of that competition and finalists who didn't win have gone on to create great companies in Vermont. Philibot is in Barrie, OG is here in Burlington, Wheelpad is in Wilmington, Vermont, creating great products. Renown is here in Burlington. And we are looking for, not applicants this year because we've closed and we have our team of finalists going forward, but we're looking for early stage companies that are looking to scale quickly and have a focus to some extent on creating employment in Vermont. If you're interested in getting involved with LaunchVT, I would encourage you to come to meetups or to our seminars. If you're interested in strongly supporting the entrepreneurs, I would encourage you to become a sponsor, especially if you're a local business. And I would also encourage you to come to the competition. Something that entrepreneurs need more than anything is an opportunity to have exposure to their ideas, for lots of people to see them and provide them with feedback and encouragement. So if you're around on May 12th, it's here, not in this room, but the film house over there, at 4 o'clock. Thanks.
How many of, well, let me ask, do you get tech companies also pitching? Are they bricks and mortar businesses? What kind of businesses are pitching?
We get a really broad range of companies. We get tech companies, sort of traditional consumer goods. This year, we have, of our 7 finalists, I would say we have 4 companies that I would think of as tech companies that are building an app or something that kind of relies heavily on the tech industry, and 3 that are kind of less in the tech realm. But every year we have companies that are building new and interesting apps to solve problems. And this year we have a company that's creating a camping app, a company that's creating a career services app. So they really range. That's one of the things that's really interesting about LaunchVT is you can see all sorts of things.
I have an iPad app, and it's in the App Store, but I don't know how to market it. Could you help with that?
Our educational seminars might help with something like that, and a meetup would be a great place to bring it and talk with someone there who has expertise and might be able to point you in the right direction. And my time is up.
Give it up for LaunchVT. Now we've got VCET and on deck HackVT. Hi there, I'm Dave Bradbury with the Vermont Center for Emerging Technologies. Thanks very much. We're about people, places, and capital. And this is the unveiling of a video. It's not going to work given tech hang-ups, but let's try it.
VCET is a high concentration spot for entrepreneurs who want some camaraderie as they go through the entrepreneurial journey. It's a huge asset. I wish when I was starting my company that there was a place like VCET to come to. What's been interesting for me to learn is how willing people are to help one another. It's really cool and empowering when there's a sense of sort of shared success.
The real reason that I love having my company in Vermont and I love living in Vermont is because I think there's such a diversity in the entrepreneurial ecosystem that's really satisfying, right? It's really cool to be able to work not only with tech entrepreneurs and creative entrepreneurs, but with distilleries, right? And food entrepreneurs and farmers and craftspeople and builders. There's just so many different types of people making so many different types of businesses that all center around the same values of sort of sustainable growth and building a lifestyle that really counts. And so that's a really satisfying thing to be part of.
right, thank you. Is it terrible? I have no idea, really, all right? Yeah, and thanks to our members here for making it happen. As I start, we go to the next slide when I get a chance. Today we're about people, places, and capital. We operate 3 co-working incubation accelerator facilities in Middlebury, at UVM, and downtown in the Fairpoint Central Office Hub. We have a network of 10 colleges, universities we work with, their alumni, their investors, their biologists, whatever it takes to try to give an unfair advantage in life to a startup or a scaling team. With respect to capital, we invest from a $5.1 million revolving fund. We've done 21 investments out of that fund. We've also probably helped another dozen or so companies get money. When we didn't make an investment, we help them close through that. And really, this year we launched a few initiatives that I hope many have attended or could. One is the Female Founders event with Hotel Vermont. We've got three left. We start here is our podcast for the active, aspiring, and accidental entrepreneur. It's on SoundCloud and iTunes. Please try to check that out. It's just on VPR today. Public Radio added it to its podcast partner page as well. We can't do it without you and all of our volunteers and mentors. Thanks.
We got a little bit of time for questions. What questions we got?
Hey David, where do you see the tech community for BTV going in the next 2 years? What's your goal?
Yeah, well, my goal is to help you be successful, right? You've got a VR company, right? We're going to try to get that one going. I think it's trying to work together. There's a lot of fragmentation. There's a lot of opportunity to try to get the density. Lee Bouillet, Fresh Drive Sheet. That's what we're about. Right? We need to come together as community, as organizations that support you and figure out how do we play to win. There are a lot of programs, a lot of efforts that play to get by. I'm ready to win, as I know you are, because you're betting your livelihoods, your families, your monies on your business. So let's go for it.
Give it up for VCET. So earlier somebody asked about hackathons, HackVT, and up next we have Essex STEM.
So my name is Rob Hale. I'm representing HackVT. HackVT's been around this October, should be our 7th year, so we're excited for that. One of the things about some of the prior groups that have come through, LaunchVT is kind of one of they lead the organization of HackVT. VCET has hosted HackVT a number of years. So what is HackVT, besides something I keep saying? HackVT, it's a programming competition. It's a hackathon, so to your question. And like I said, we've been around. We've had 6 events already. It's once a year, usually in the fall, October timeframe. And yeah, we have prizes for the top 3 teams. It's a judged competition. So again, tying back to some of the earlier speakers, we've had representatives from Fresh Tracks, e-judges, and some of the other organizations. Now I'm spacing on that, so I'll move on. You got teams up to 5 people, and we have a theme every year, right? So your challenge is usually to take a data set or a group of data sets and come up with a solution. Last year it was education. The prior couple of years it was energy. Before that it was something to benefit the state of Vermont. So every year it's a little bit, well, we try to make it a little bit different every year. And themes. It's open to basically, I think it's 18 plus. Oh no, that's not true because we have students. So professionals, amateurs, and like I said, students. We had John, who's up at the back, has been great at organizing and supporting a team, and Leanne's here too. Oh, Leanne. A team from Essex High School. And so we have college, high school level participants, and they get, there's a separate prize category for students, and then for professionals and whatnot. So I'm going to stop there for questions. The handsome man in the corner. Lars.
So, can you tell me how the products from the hacks get used in the real world?
That really depends on the team, right? So they hold on to their intellectual property. So if they want to take it forward, they can open source it, they can take it to, maybe they want to go to Generator, maybe they want to go to VCET or something and try and build it into something more. One of the local groups, Jillian, I think it was, kind of met as a hackathon team in the first year. Is that right? Yeah. I get that right. Thank you. I knew you were here. And so that's a tremendous success story from the standpoint of HackVT. So we're super proud. And I've got 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm done.
All right, now we have Essex STEM on deck, Vermont Tech Jam.
Hello, I'm Leanne Smith. I lead the STEM Academy at Essex High School. We're a group that gives students at the school an opportunity to explore further their interest in science and technology. Next slide, please. So we're sort of an above and beyond group for students who are interested in science. It's not so much that it's a whole bunch of hard math and science classes students get together to take. It's a place where students can come together and connect with the community and see if the things they're thinking about in science are the things they might really want to pursue in the future. So we have over 100 students right now. They apply at the end of their freshman year, and they're in the academy for 3 years. The first thing that they do when they join the academy in their 10th grade year is they join a STEM advisory. So at Essex High School, we have a group every day in the middle of the day for about 30 minutes. All the students can self-select and kind of go wherever they want to in the school, get help with homework or whatever. If you're in the STEM Academy, you're in one of our advisories. So right there, you're starting off with a good social base of hanging out with students who have interests similar to yours. And we have 4 strands: medicine, life science, computer science, and engineering. So you're grouped with students and also teachers who have interests similar to yours. Then we also have the lecture series. So all students in the academy, and also any student in the school, come to our lecture series. They're typically held in the middle of the day during that same 30-minute flex block. And those have gone really well. I've probably had somebody in every 2 or 3 weeks, and a fair number of students go. So those are popular. Probably the best part of the academy is the internship class. Students typically do that in the junior year, and that's the place where I need the most help. I put students out in the community for 40 hours. We call them internships, but they're high school students. I mean, they're not going to be doing surgery or anything like that. So they're just job shadow. If a person can come up with a little project for somebody to do, that's fine. But it's just a really nice opportunity for a student to see if an interest that they have is something that they might want to develop further, or maybe that was a bad idea and they go on to something else. Then in their senior year, they do a capstone project, and we're open to a wide variety of things. There are some of the students who are doing the things independently. If I could find mentors in the community to help students maybe develop an idea a little bit further, that would be great. So the thing we mostly need is volunteers to speak, people to have a student at their place of employment for 40 hours. We do that twice a year, once in the fall, once in the spring. And then anybody who might want to mentor seniors with capstone projects.
What are some example capstone projects?
So this year the students are doing projects through a whole variety of things. There's a student who's built an electric longboard. Students have worked with F-score, so that's they're doing some research on water quality. That's kind of done through St. Mike's. The UVM medical students have been very helpful, so there's students doing medical. It's not really research, but they're hanging out with medical students and they're learning more about medical type things. So it's all students who are doing research in like surveys in the school about what behavior students engage in and whether there's a good or not, so statistical kind of things. So all across the board. Yeah.
Do you think it's appropriate for an internship with a distributed or remote company?
I would love that. And it's something with BTV Ignite, I'm sort of hoping to involve more of that. I'd like the opportunities to not just be local, but if I could do anything remote. We had somebody once with somebody at your place, we went down to VCET. So yes, remote is something I would love. I would like to plug the whole world. So if anybody wants to help me with that, let me know. Yeah.
What type of time commitment are you thinking of for somebody mentoring a capstone project?
The students are required to be 40 hours, so whatever, it'll probably be 20 hours of time maybe. And some of that could also be remote. Some of the projects are done through Skype, so.
All right, let's give it up for Essex STEM. Now we got Vermont Tech Jam and on deck Burlington School District STEM.
Hello, my name is Kathy Resmer. I'm one of the organizers of the Vermont Tech Jam. Quick show of hands, how many people have been to a Vermont Tech Jam? Oh my gosh, so many people. That's so great. Next slide. So the Tech Jam is a 2-day job fair and tech expo. It started back in January 2008 in this very building, in fact. We had our first one. This one that we're having this year is the 11th Tech Jam. So pretty exciting. We haven't really announced it yet, but we have had to secure our venue. We've grown over the years. We're now at the Champlain Valley Expo in Essex Junction. We're going back there this year. And last year we filled up one of those whole expo rooms with lots of tech companies and kids and Maker Faire stuff. And it's pretty exciting. The Tech Jam is powered by 7 Days. So 7 Days is the alternative weekly in Burlington, independent news weekly, largest one in Vermont. And we organize the event with help from the Vermont Technology Alliance and from BTV Ignite. Next slide. We basically have 4 goals for the Tech Jam. One of them, the first one, really most important, is to help Vermont companies find highly skilled employees and help stop the brain drain. So we want to connect employers to employees. We get lots of folks come from out of state. This is a chance for people to see as many tech companies in the area under one roof as they can. So we get people coming in and saying, oh, I want to see if there's a job here. Maybe it doesn't work out at this company, it could go to this company. It's also a chance to celebrate and market Vermont's tech sector. So this is an opportunity every year in October to focus attention on this incredible growing community of tech companies. And 7 Days, obviously, we have technology, we have a web team, we have IT folks, but we are not a tech company, we're a media company, and we're helping to market the tech sector. So we want to help you amplify whatever message you have and whatever work you're doing. We want to know about it, and we want to let people know what's going on here. Not just within the community, not just people who are involved in meetups, but outside the community. So one of the pictures here is, that's Governor Phil Scott trying virtual reality headset for the first time at this year's Tech Jam. We invite all these lawmakers and community leaders to see all of these companies at the same time, and I think that leads to a lot of connections, not just for companies and employees, but also for groups like the robotics teams who meet up with sponsors, or meetup groups who meet up with other sponsors or venues or have ideas. It's a chance for people to connect. And we also, I put up a slide here of Sarah Simon from VPR. We have these awards. So next slide, please. Awards is actually, sorry, I'm out of order. Awards is one of the things we need. So we don't need volunteers, but we do need sponsors. We need exhibitors, lots of companies to exhibit. We need presenters, so if you have sessions that you'd like to see, workshops, ideas for presentations you think should happen at the Tech Jam, send them my way. We're open to lots of different ideas. And
let's transition to questions.
Oh, award nominations. We need you to nominate people for Tech Jam awards. Not until the fall, though. Questions? What's that?
Sorry. Your voice is kind of how do we get hold of you?
I am Kathy Resmer on Twitter, and you can go to 7daysvt.com and sign up for Tech Jam newsletter on Mondays. It comes out every week. I read it. I let people know about all of your meetups and events. So if they want to hear about it. Find more people. Yes.
Thank you for putting it on. It's an awesome thing that you all do. What's going to be new this year? What are you looking forward to for this year's Tech Jam?
Good question. It sort of depends on what folks are interested in doing. I think we decided after last year that we didn't want to do another student maker fair. We'd really like to focus on bringing in college students from all over the state. I think that we do a lot of outreach to the schools, but really I'm working with Mike Shortland at the state to maybe bring in, bus some college students out for the day. So I'd like to see that happen.
All right, let's give it up for Vermont Tech Jam. Now we've got Burlington School District STEM. Next we have Code for BTV.
Hi, I'm Karen Vogel. I'm with the Burlington School District. So Burlington Public School District, we have a high school, a tech center, 2 middle schools, 6 elementary schools, and pre-K. And our commitment is to provide great opportunities for our close to 4,000 students in our district, pre-K through 12. So we have lots of great things going on, and we have at our tech center, we have new computer science programs. At our middle schools, we have new maker spaces and things that are happening. But I work mostly with the elementary teachers in our district, so I'm just going to talk about one thing that we did last summer with our elementary teachers. A colleague and I designed and taught a STEM course for them in the summer. And we decided we wanted to have one day of just the teachers being able to learn about coding and really do some hands-on work with that. Most elementary teachers, there are always exceptions, but most of them are not from a tech background, and they're just not comfortable in that world. So we put out a request, and it was great because John replied and said, yeah, I'll come and volunteer and spend some time with your teachers that day. And we had a few other people too. I don't know if anyone is here, but Shane Sellis and Jeff Springer also came to our rescue and spent the day with us that day. It was really special because we hadn't done something like that before, and we found that the teachers responded so positively to that. They were able to see that people like engineers in our local community are just people, and they were able to do some really fun things. You could go to the next slide. There's teachers shooting off rockets, and there's Shane setting us up to do a really fun Sphero chariot race that, you know, my measure of success is if people are just laughing hysterically when, when they're doing something. So it also ended up that we had students go and visit John and his team at dealer.com. They got a lot out of that. So we're always looking for people in our community. It's so important to connect with real people in our tech community and let teachers meet you and work with you, let students know who you are. That's the only way we can be successful, and by helping our young people in our community be literate, amazing citizens with lots of opportunities. That's what we're all about. Okay, thanks. Question? Yes?
Have you done the Hour of Code from code.org?
Yes, yes. We have a lot of teachers who do that. It's super accessible and fun for kids. We have a lot of kids doing that now, whereas 3 or 4 years ago, it was not even happening at all. So there's been a lot of progress there. And John was actually working with the teachers doing some of that. So I find that's such an easy way to have some local tech people come in when, you know, students are going to be doing Hour of Code tutorials, and just be there, maybe talk a little bit about yourself and participate in that with them. It's such a game changer to have engineers working with us instead of just us figuring that out. So great question. Yeah.
For what it's worth, I didn't invest a lot in learning Hour of Code. I was able to just jump in and help pretty easily. It's not like there's a lot you need to learn so you can go help them. I just kind of showed up, was able to help pretty quickly.
Absolutely. So be in touch if you have any ideas for us or want to volunteer or connect in any way. My name is Karen Vogel. I don't have my email on my slide, but you can Google me.
Give it up for Burlington School District STEM. Now we've got Code for BTV and on deck Vermont Tech Alliance. Hello.
Hi, I'm Nick Florsch. I'm from Code for BTV, and we are your local Code for America Brigade. My co-captain is Jim Lockridge, who's also here, and you'll be seeing him later. Next slide. So we're a brigade for Code for America. There's lots of brigades all over the place. We were one of the earlier ones, I'm not sure what number, and they've expanded beyond America at this point, so that's pretty cool. Code for America, what is Code for America? What is civic hacking? Code for America is all about civic hacking, so let's talk about what civic hacking is. If you want to get rich, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a startup, look the other way. This is not the way to go. We are trying to connect technology and government to make your lives better at the civic level, at your, what you do every day and how you interact with the city, with the state, with the federal level. Next slide. So they've got lots of fancy slogans, fix things that matter. Government can work, and a new kind of public service. So civic hacking is about trying to make the whole city and state and federal level better through technology and marrying it with people that care and lots of energy. So next slide. So what can you do and who are we? So if you want to contribute to the city and the state, then you could be anybody. You could be a citizen, you could be, I don't know, a programmer, you could be, a designer, you could be a project manager, you could be anything. If you're a citizen, then you can contribute. We want your contribution as a citizen, as somebody who's excited to help out with making this a better place, and that is, there's no fees for joining. We're a volunteer organization. We've got lots of projects. We've done projects. We've either implemented projects from other brigades across the U.S., or we've done some of our own. We've got active projects, and you could join us to do new projects. If you want to join us for a hackathon, we do hackathons. The hackathons are not the kind of hackathons where you win money. They're the kind of hackathons where you feel good about yourself at the end, because you made a better, city or state or federal level. So, yeah, I think that's kind of a quick word. We have an office, and if you want to join us for office hours, that's great. We've got a meetup group. We've got a code for BTV.org website that'll tell you about where to get in touch with us, and we'll start announcing when you can come in and meet with us. We're a pretty flat organization, so once you get on the list, you'll know what's happening and when it's happening. We're going to be doing monthly public outreach as well as just kind of office hours for planning our next events. Yes?
Yes. Could you name an example project that's out there in the field?
It's out there in the field right now. Well, since I did it, I'll name Lakecraft, where we developed a Minecraft model of the Lake Champlain watershed basin for Echo to use in their Minecraft day camps in the summer, and it's being used in lots of strange places like Big Heavy Worlds, potentially using it for doing a virtual music event through Minecraft. So there's that, there's lots of different projects. Yeah.
All right, let's give it up for Code for BTV. Now we've got the Vermont Tech Alliance. On deck we have Study Hall.
Hi, I'm Jeff Kuchar. I'm the Executive Director of the Vermont Technology Alliance. The VTTA is a nonprofit business association that is focused on supporting, promoting, and growing tech jobs and tech companies in Vermont. We're a membership organization. We have about 200 members, ranging from individual entrepreneurs to large businesses, and it cuts across the tech sectors from software development, web development, IT. We have telecommunications, energy, bioscience, quite a number of organizations under our umbrella. We are really the only statewide organization that's focused solely on the tech sector throughout Vermont. We try to carry out our mission through a number of ways, through advocacy, working for programs and policies that are going to support the tech sector in Vermont. Through collaboration, we work with all kinds of organizations, from economic development folks to colleges, universities, nonprofit organizations to promote the tech sector, support the tech sector. We try to offer networking opportunities for folks to get together and connect, certainly from a business perspective. As I mentioned, we do promote the tech sector. We have a number of communication channels, not only working with the media, but we have our own website. We have a web page, we have a monthly newsletter, we have social media, we have about a 1,400 member LinkedIn group where people connect to us from really all in Vermont and all over the country to find out what's going on in Vermont around tech. And we do a number of events and projects to support tech in Vermont. So a couple of quick things. One of the biggest focus areas for our organization, our members, is recruiting tech talent to Vermont. Nearly every business member is hiring and is looking to find people. We're trying to help funnel those folks into Vermont and to look at the tech community. We produced a tech economic impact study to talk about the quality and breadth of tech jobs in Vermont. We've established a career center. We have over 180 jobs currently from our member businesses on that center. We will go out to job fairs. I was just out to the Central Vermont Job Fair just today, bringing out the information for our businesses. We do events like social get-togethers. We have a bio and beer event coming up next week. We do lunch and learn events. We'll have Mike Shirley from the state agency here next week. As Kathy said, working 7 days on putting together the Tech Jam, and we have a number of other events to bring people together. So for you folks, we try to promote. We have a page with resources. Just want to make sure we have everyone listed. If you have news or events or information you want to get out, please get it to us, get it to me either through our website, or I'm jeff@vtta.org for email.
Lobbying at the State House?
Yeah, well, we're not lobbyists per se, so we use the word advocacy. We often get invited in, or we'll come in to provide perspective or input into legislation. So some of the things we've been involved in is promoting funding for economic development, marketing, and recruitment around tech. The independent contractor issue, how it relates to tech businesses and tech entrepreneurs. Years ago, working for the elimination of the cloud tax. So we do get involved, and we are seen as a resource for the state.
VCET, how do we draw more people to Vermont to work at technology companies? Is it working for firms or is it remote work?
It's both. We're trying to reach both. Certainly trying to get people to take a look at the opportunities that are here in Vermont. I mean, it's simplistic, but the view is sometimes that we don't have the tech opportunities we have, but we have a lot of them in Vermont. We're trying to do our part to, through events like the Tech Jam or whatever, to get the word out that there's a lot of interesting growing companies here people ought to take a look at.
All right, let's give it up. Vermont Tech Labs. Now we have Study Hall, and on deck, the Big Heavy World Foundation.
Thanks for having me. My name is Tad Cook. I'm one of the co-founders of Study Hall, which is a co-working space and meeting place in the heart of downtown Burlington. We're on the 3rd floor of 209 College Street, right above Stone Soup. So we started about 9 months ago because we had access to this beautiful space. We've been sharing one side of it between roughly 10 of us. It was great to have this mix of designers and developers. I work on the Moran plant in my spare time, so I'm sort of this nonprofit, mix of a whole lot of different things. But we had this shared space, we had access to more, and we decided to switch up the model a little bit. So we launched what we're calling the Hall Pass. We have about 70 members now. It's a mix of developers, designers, artists, writers, folks that work remotely that stop in here for a few weeks or a few months from all over the country, from big companies, from tiny little companies. But our goal is to create something that was really accessible and diverse and to kind of cultivate that mix of people having attorneys that are working next to web developers. Turns out is a really useful thing from time to time. So we've got all of this, we've got the space, we've got room for, on any given day, 30 to 40 people to come in, drink coffee, eat some fresh local donuts, and we just try and keep the space flexible, accessible. We have day passes, night passes, and then space on weekends. We also offer a full-time side with desks for folks that need computers or a more involved setup. So in answer to sort of who do we serve, it's meant intentionally broad. We're focused on technology design. And what do we do? I think the goal is that we're here to be an affordable, accessible, convenient place to either work or to meet, whether it's for a day or a month or longer. We have a number of events, and they kind of range from talks. We had a food and philosophy talk last night. We've done pop-up markets. We've had meetups. So it's a great place if you have an event and you need to hold something. We've got plenty of space. We've got a great projector and meeting rooms to have it in. So we'd love to hear from you. I've got this whole stack of passes here, so we'd like to try us out for a month. Just come on in, no requirement, no expectations, but just come and say hello. We're just stopping for a coffee.
Everybody gets it.
Yeah. Lars.
Yeah, so one, where do you get your donuts? And then two, how have you seen people
elaborate? Like, are there some shared projects that you've seen come out?
So the donuts are from Ren Wiener, Miss Wieners. She's one of our members. She does a work trade with us, which is also Brio Coffee. Magda and Nate, who run Brio, trade coffee for their membership. So that's one way to keep things kind of affordable and accessible. We've seen, I think the easiest collaborations often are between some kind of expert in something and then people that help make companies happen, designers and developers. And so we've had a lot of people that come in and say, hey, I want to develop this new tool for my website, or I want to expand into this new market. And so we've had either web developers or app developers or designers that are in-house help out. We've got writers that have been really helpful, I think, for other companies in kind of framing what they do. So that's been great to see sort of these little collaborations come out of it. And we've also seen some in bringing together. I worked with Marguerite Dibble of Game Theory on the Brand Plant, and through that she ended up working with our designers, Chris and Jasmine, to form design studios. So there have been these great little collaborations and that have turned into much larger adventures.
All right, let's give it up for Study Hall. Now we've got the big heavy world, and on deck, Burlington JS.
As a volunteer-run independent music office serving Vermont, Big Heavy World promotes and archives music made by Vermonters with a crew of volunteers who are mostly high school and college age. And throughout our history, we've had a very close relationship with emerging technology. It's always been sort of a clubhouse that seizes on new opportunities to support local music in fun ways. So our history includes streaming live concerts from Club Toast back in the mid-90s when we started with See You, See Me before streaming technologies were real. We helped bands get into digital distribution through Liquid Audio when that industry was new. We packaged Vermont music with MP3 players before the iPods were released as a product. So we have a long history of kind of having our eye on the horizon and then really enjoying getting friendly with technology. And that's a large part of the character of our organization. We operate as a music development office. We do what we can to support the success of independent Vermont artists and musicians, original musicians. And so that includes everything from supporting their business efforts to giving them opportunities for exposure or bringing them together to strengthen their community. We have a long list of projects, but current ones in the category of things that people could jump in and help us out with include, we'll be redeveloping our website, which will include both the design but also a very earnest effort to make it conform to very current standards that are also accessibility compliance. We really want the world of Vermont music to be available through easily through screen readers and such for low-sighted and blind people so that we can all experience it. We recently started using the Omeka digital library platform, which is interoperable so other library systems can search our archive of Vermont-made music. Our archive has thousands, probably 5,000 recordings, albums by Vermont artists. It grows all the time. And we need some help establishing an audio application that will allow people to listen to the music without downloading it in accordance or compliance with PMICV rules for how many copies of a file a library can make. So we want to create a virtual library experience for these thousands of recordings that's legitimate and legal, and we could use some assistance with that. We also run a community radio station called 105.9 FM The Radiator, and part of what goes along with running the radio station is enjoying doing what we can to stream Vermont's musical culture. And we do that with audio, with video. We hope soon, with a relationship with Burlington Telecom, to be able to stream live virtual reality from concerts. And we're also developing Raspberry Pi-based automated streaming things that we're going to install in venues around town so that we can switch from the station to live concerts in venues like the Lamp Shop.
All right, time for questions.
So I remember a few years ago you went to South by Southwest, which seemed really important in helping to sort of take the story of Vermont music beyond our borders. What else do you have planned coming up to help sort of tell the story that, that's both vibrant music, but it feeds vibrant tech?
A basic project is we have a tour van we loan to bands. We don't charge them rent. They take the big heavy tour van and head out, get out of state, and share their music. We'll do this South by Southwest showcase again. But part of our relation to the technology community is, Vermont has this very vibrant, very talented, and very diverse cultural community. The arts and culture in Vermont are probably deeper and better than you might imagine, starting from scratch to think about it. And if you're hoping to inspire people to move here for any kind of industry, you would hope that they would perceive Vermont as a place that's viable and to raise a family, to be enriched as an individual, to have something to do at the end of the workday that's stimulating. And our musical community has the potential to be a major resource in that category. So, the relationships we can build between culture and technology can be very meaningful to the success of technology.
All right, let's give it up. Now we've got Burlington JS and on deck, Burlington Young Professionals.
Hi, my name is Jeff Margolis. I'm one of 4 volunteer coordinators of BTV JS. According to the 2016 Stack Overflow Developers Survey, 3/4 of all developers have JavaScript in part of their stack, use it every day, so we talk about it. We have been known to attract people who do all kinds of things because it's such a common language. We meet up monthly here at the Main Street Landing Space, part of the Burlington Code community. We've done stuff for beginners. We've done ramp-up events in conjunction with GDI before. We've done book club talks. More informal discussions and some presentations on a more advanced scale as well. We meet once a month right here, usually either a 6 or a 7:30 meetup. We are looking for people who are interested in attending, who have ideas, who want to speak, any of those things. We're open to a lot of different ideas because JavaScript covers so many different things. 60 seconds, there it is. Questions?
What are some of the hot topics as of late in the meetup?
We've had 2 different discussions revolving around some advanced Redux applications, including generators and sagas. What else have we had lately? I'm trying to think. I know a couple of the upcoming ones include going offline with tech from Maureen McElhaney. We've got another one about JavaScript Ruby-based JavaScript framework, and somebody's going to come talk about how to use JavaScript as an interface to a MIDI pedal. So, all kinds of stuff. Thank you. Oh wait, one more.
Where do you find the information on these meetings?
You can go to meetup.com/VTCode. All right, and one more.
Are there a lot of people who come who want to learn, or is it mostly people talking about high-level stuff?
It's a pretty good mix. I have found myself leading the discussion and following the discussion. It's very well mixed.
All right, let's give it up for Burlington JS. Now we've got Burlington Young Professionals on deck, Code Camp.
Hi again. Still Katie Taylor. I'm the outgoing director of Burlington Young Professionals. I neglected to mention that HackVT is powered by the Lake Champlain Chamber of Commerce, as is Burlington Young Professionals. We provide professional development and networking opportunities to young professionals in the greater Burlington area. That looks like a yearly seminar series where we get together for drinks and panel talks on anything from buying your first house to getting a raise to getting your next promotion. We also have informal meetup events the 3rd Tuesday of every month at Juniper. Those are a way to just come in really casually, get to know some people in the young professional community, and they're really super in the summer when we're out on the patio. We are not tech focused at all. We're for anybody who identifies themselves as a young professional in the greater Burlington area. We get a lot of folks who move into Burlington and are trying to figure out, how do I find friends? How do I find a job? I came here with my spouse.
I get a lot of calls from those folks, and we have a lot of new people to the Burlington area who are coming in and trying to find their community. And that's it. Any questions?
I have a question for you. So you said whatever people define as young. What's typically young in your audience?
Yeah, so we typically range, the biggest bulk is like 25 to 35. I say most of the people in our group are people without kids. Having just had a kid, I understand why. But we do try to have some events that are a little bit earlier, so if people want to hang out before they go home to the kids, they can do that.
Awesome. Let's give it up for Burlington Young Professionals. Now we've got quick change Rob.
Yeah, so I can say hi again, but at least I had the courtesy.
DevOps. Go ahead. Who wants to choose now? DevOps.
Sorry. No, I get to say hi again, but at least I had the decency to change shirts. Are you outgoing from young professionals because you just had a baby? No? Sorry, I'm just joking. Show of hands, who has attended Vermont Code Camp? That's pretty decent. Excellent. If you don't know what it is, it's a free, that's an important word, day-long event in September where we basically have like 5 concurrent user group sessions going on throughout the day. So like 4 or 5 rooms running with an hour and a hour, sometimes 45 minutes or less. Most of them are an hour long. Talks about technology, programming. We've had people come in about robotics, and it's a variety again of like professionals, amateurs, students, and whatnot. It's a good networking event. We've got a job board.
What questions do people have about it?
Yeah, what questions do people have about it? Are people curious that this is going to be a 9th year in September? Are people curious that we need volunteers, both in terms of speakers and helping put on the event? These are good questions. It's okay to ask. Great.
When does the call for speakers go out?
Call for speaker goes out usually June, July timeframe. Somebody over here had a question? That was the same question.
What are the most popular talks?
The ones that you guys give are the most popular talks. No, I mean, we really have, it's tech agnostic, right? So code camps historically kind of fell out of the Microsoft community. And you had other types of camps like bar camps and whatnot from other communities. The great thing about Burlington, and I got 1 second left, is all the different technology backgrounded people here play very well with each other. So we tend to have a room set aside for kind of open sourcey web things. There's some .NET folks. There's all kinds of tech, and people find their spot. I'm sorry, I went long.
You're good, man. Let's give it up for Vermont Code Camp. Let's give it up for Rob Hale. All right, now we've got DevOps, and on deck we have WordPress.
Hello, I'm Adam Burnett. I've been organizing the recently started DevOps theme talks through BTV Code. We've only had, I wouldn't even say a handful of them yet, so we're very, very new. If you're not familiar with the term, it's kind of like the new hottest buzzword in our industry around, kind of comes from a focus on automation and development, breaking down silos, having a real kind of agile company culture. I was really glad someone asked the question about how meetups can help in hiring and promoting your company, because this is the place to do it in the DevOps meetup. Come, tell everyone how great a company culture you have, how you're developing software, making the best possible software, how you're doing it, what tools you're using to do it. That's really the heart of DevOps and what we like to focus on. Our talks thus far have been really tool-centric. I would love to have people come in who are working more than just a one-person shop to talk about what your team structure is, what your culture is like, how you're tooling for sure. That's always fun. That's generally pretty easy to talk about, but this is the place to come and really promote yourself, make people jealous that they don't work for you. So, of course, I don't have any contact info up there, but the good news is there's a DevOps talk tonight that I will be hosting. So you can come down to the second floor, we can talk more about it, and I'd love to get more people involved. Tonight's topic is Terraform. If you're not familiar with the tool, we can kind of a quick run. All right, thanks.
Adam, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What have been some of the other topics?
We've had talks on, we had a panel on Docker, we had a project manager, or not project manager, I forget exactly which title was, from Ansible at Red Hat come, give a talk about Ansible, how that's involved, and then now Terraform. We don't have a very regular schedule yet because it's been, since it's so new, we're still trying to get a lot of volunteers and get a regular cadence going.
So you talk about tools that help the teams collaborate more so as well, and how they integrate with those things, or is it more about moving the code around?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely on the table. If it's something that helps you sort of, break down silos and kind of helps your software development lifecycle and pipeline, and helps your teams react and develop more quickly, certainly on the table.
All right, let's give it up for DevOps. Now we've got WordPress on deck, data science.
Hey guys, I'm Josh Lee. I'm the organizer for the Burlington WordPress meetup. How many people here, has anyone here not heard of WordPress or doesn't know what it is? Great, awesome. Good crowd. So I like to think of the WordPress meetup group as kind of a gateway drug to the rest of the groups that BTV Code is holding. We have a wide range of skill levels coming from people who have really only just heard of WordPress and have never worked in a line of code in their life, all the way through to people who hack, build WordPress core. Yeah, any questions? I'll be quick. Yeah.
What exactly do you offer?
Oh, sorry, yeah, so we're one of the meetup groups that participates in Burlington Code. So we have meetups right here in Main Street Landing about once a month. And the typical format is a sort of a lecture format with one of the members of the group giving a presentation. I strongly encourage anyone who wants to learn about some piece of WordPress to try giving a presentation about it. It's a great way to learn. And that's happened a few times in our group. We also have some more informal discussions where we'll just kind of sit around and have roundtable Q&A. And then we do some hands-on sessions where we'll take a little bit more time on a weekend and kind of do a deeper dive on something like building a custom theme or a custom plugin.
All right, let's give it up. Now we've got data science on deck, VMware.
Hi, just quickly, show of hands. How many folks here have been to one of our data science meetups? Awesome, excellent. Yeah, so data science meetup has been around for about 4 or 5 years. Started by a small group of people, mainly statisticians, a few people from UVM. We went for, we're meeting on and off for a few years, generally small groups. And then about 2 years ago, we decided to kind of pivot to sort of a broader perspective, sort of addressing, broader array of data science. And we've grown really tremendously, actually. So we've gone from about 75 members a couple of years ago to over 450, fast kind of closing in on 500. And we, at this point, we're generally getting about 30 to 40 attendees for all of our meetups every month. And then when we sort of try to have a big one in December, and we got about 80 people to that last year. So it's been had really strong growth in attendance. And we, generally are trying to do a couple of things. The broadest purpose is to just talk about the work of gleaning insights from data.
All right, let's transition into questions.
I thought I had a minute and then a minute for questions. Oh, that's counting down. All right. Yeah.
You ever do any training on Scala?
Not yet. But the interesting thing, the next point I was about to make was that, last night we had a training on Python. We've never had a basic, last Monday we had a training on Python. And I asked for a show of hands how many people, it was their first meetup, and almost everybody raised their hand. So I think if we had a Scala meetup, I think that might be a good idea. We just need to find someone to help us train.
All right, let's give it up for data science. Now we've got VMware on deck, Vermont.net.
Hello, I'm Scott Driver, one of the co-leaders of our Champlain Valley VMUG.
do the hands thing. How many people have been to a VMWare meeting? That's why we're here. The mission from headquarters says we're here to evangelize and educate about VMware, but being a rural state, we take a little liberty with that, and we're more of an infrastructure group. So we focus on traditional IT infrastructure, security, automation. Security is a big one this year. But the reason I'm here is because we're a vendor-funded group. So we hold quarterly meetings, vendors present, and then we have a couple community presentations. And over time, we've kind of gone more towards the vendor route, and we're trying to bring the community back in. So in our last meeting, we had a PowerShell presentation. We've had roundtables about certifications, and really just looking to you guys to come and help. We're looking for cross-pollination, collaboration opportunities, and hoping to reciprocate into your groups as well. Nobody cares about infrastructure. All your stuff runs on infrastructure. Well, our next meeting is June 15th. The good thing about having vendors is we get free food and beer. So if you're interested, come and join. We're still working out the details. CVV Mug is our group. VT Snowboarder is me. So hope to see some of you there. Cool, let's give it up. Yeah, now we've got Vermont.net next.
Okay, you can show it.
We have Project Management Institute.
Okay, it didn't come out of my time, so we're good. Okay, show of hands, who's tired of seeing me? Thank you. Vermont.net user group. So we meet monthly-ish. We're primarily focused on the .NET programming, Microsoft tech stack. Although we certainly venture out into kind of more open-ended things. We have done a number of talks about the design patterns and programming and whatnot. And before there was Burlington JS, we used to do a lot of JavaScript stuff. So that's us. You can find us through VT Coder connections, like all the other stuff that I've been talking about, except practically. Questions?
I have a question.
Thank you.
I wish there was some super cool, aggregator that would, I know a lot of these things are on Meetup, and you can follow them, but is there a place to go where I can find out everything that's going on in Burlington with all these different things that people have just said? Maybe John would stay up late writing that one night or something.
So if anybody wants to help me,
I actually sort of do that through the Tech Jam newsletter. I have a calendar of events. I take all the listings from all the meetup groups and put them on there, and every week send them out on Mondays.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a great write-up.
Seems like there's a need for that.
And once you join a meetup, you start sort of getting recommendations and things.
The VT Coder Connections meetup actually started as the .NET user group meetup, and then we kind of opened it up for the other meetups that were forming, so we had kind of one umbrella, and just that reason, once you became aware of one, you became aware of a lot more. I will say I spent some time this afternoon signing up for all kinds of meetups that are now, I didn't realize they're here in the area, that aren't even represented here, it's just so many. Your job, I can't even imagine how to connect people, but I'm out of time.
one more in the back.
I'm out of time. No, go.
No, I was just replying to her because we are actually developing a program very similar to that. So who's interested in
aggregating all that information.
And what's your name? How do people find you?
our site is called Lualo, and we're still a startup, but we'll stick around afterward. Anybody who's interested, we're PhD coders, and we're looking to groundwork.
Awesome. All right, let's give it up for Vermont.net. Now we have Project Management Institute, and last up we have Technology Consultants.
Hi, my name is Dan.
Hi, Dan.
I'm a project manager. We have a meeting once a month to help other project managers get through project management problems.
Nobody grows up wanting to be a project manager, trust me. But if you want to learn how to do Agile, which is our new thing now, or Waterfall, we're the guys to help you learn how to do it. When you want to not fail on your projects, and I've heard a lot of people actually do projects here, whether it's a civil engineering project, an IT project, or maybe planning your daughter's wedding, which I've been asked to do recently. We can help you learn about it. We are an international organization of about 400,000 people, nonprofit, volunteer-based. There's 270 of us up here in Vermont, and we are arranged through a number of IT companies up here and the engineering companies. So, any questions? See, project management is boring.
Projects have you been excited about, most excited about that you've worked on?
The projects I've been most excited about? Right now, the best project I ever worked on was with the Sony PlayStation. So I was one of the project managers at IBM for getting the PlayStation out the door. And back then we used waterfall techniques. Now we're all Agile.
What are some recent companies that you've helped with project managing?
Right now we're working with Global Foundries, taking over all of IBM, and so what we're doing is taking 25 years worth of legacy code and trying to move it in 5 months. All Unix scripts, and they are all Oracle, and we are all IBM. So, you know, but what's amazing is that I'm working with them now as an Agile, they're an Agile team on their side, and it's much more collaborative, works much better that way. I'm getting something actually done instead of failing.
Not so much a question, but just I've been to a few of the meetups for the PMI, and as a developer, it helps me get a better understanding of the overall project life cycle. So
we all started as developers, 1968 for me and Fortran.
All right, let's give it up. Hi, Greg, bring us home.
Hi. I think the reason John put this last is because before I was talking about a group that had 450 members, now I'm going to be talking about a group that has no members and doesn't even exist yet. Just show of hands, how many people are independent consultants or have been independent consultants in the past? So I think it would be great to get to know some of you. I'm an independent consultant, and you know, we sort of come from many different domains, but then being a consultant is kind of a skill in and of itself. And so I think it would be really valuable to be able to network and get to know other consultants. There was a long-standing consulting network in Vermont that has sort of ground down to a little bit of a halt. I'm not really sure where it's going. There's sort of more traditional consulting roles, not so many technology consultants, and so I'm thinking about exploring forming a group for technology consultants and freelancers and trusted advisors or whatever you call yourself. So just good to know anybody that's interested in that. Questions?
How do people get in touch with you, Greg, if they're interested?
I'm an organizer of the data science meetup. You can find me there. You can ask me for a card at the end of this. And I'll probably be launching a meetup fairly soon to get started.
Do you see a website coming up as like a consultant website?
Not from me. But if somebody's interested in doing that, certainly, yeah. I mean, that's maybe one of the things that we should talk about. Anything else? John has left. I've got 16 seconds.
Yeah. John's left, you got more than that.
So I've got 16 minutes. It must
All right, cool. So, a couple things to wrap up here. So, we have just heard from 25 different organizations, more than can even fit onto this slide, which is super cool. There's even more organizations that didn't present tonight. So much going on in our community. Please get involved. Next slide. DevOps is going down in the gallery. This is just calling me. I've got to go help them fix something. So please head down there if you want to check out DevOps. Hang out here, chat with your peers, chat with some of the speakers that you've heard about, create some connections that go beyond tonight. And
you can also head down to Skinny Pancake, and some of us will probably end up there. So thank you all so much for coming. Thank you for